I want to talk about the top 3 custody myths that we need to demystify right now. The first is that moms always get custody. I get this question so many times all day long, and I want to let you guys know it's a myth. Right now, we have so many more women in the workforce. We have all of these different types of families and parenting styles. We have division of labor that's going on in households. And while there is still a disparate division of the mental load of families and parenting and working between husbands and wives or partners and spouses, for the most part, in custody cases, the court is going to care about how much time and how much parenting responsibility each parent's been doing over, let's say, the past 4 months. So just because you have a stay-at-home mom in a case, for example, and maybe you're a breadwinning dad, if you're actually doing 55% of the heavy lifting of family work and childcare responsibilities in your household, the fact that you are the breadwinner and the primary parent who's doing all of the work is something that is to your advantage and is something that's helpful in your custody case. So labels like just gender, a mom always gets custody or a dad never does, those things are a myth in custody. It's all about the schedule. What were you two doing before anybody was looking? How are you guys dividing up the labor in your household? That's what attorneys and judges care the most about. Now, the second myth in a custody case is another question that I constantly get. So in divorce cases, you've got a relationship that's breaking down. And it's possible in those relationships that someone has stepped outside of the marriage and had an affair, committed adultery. Most people think that if someone has committed adultery, then they're going to be punished on the custody side. And I want to let you guys know, as much as this might be surprising to you, that's a myth. Being a good parent and stepping outside of your sexual and romantic relationship are two different things in the eyes of a court. And so if there's an intersection between that person who's having an affair and their ability to parent, let's say that they're getting drunk with their boyfriend and leaving the children alone in a car, or unattended. Okay, that's something the court's going to care about. That's the intersection of their choices to be with somebody else and their ability to parent. But the fact alone that someone has stepped out of the relationship, has cheated, has had an affair, doesn't automatically take their parenting rights away. And so it's important for people to know that even though that's controversial and it might not seem fair, that's just the way that it works in family cases and custody cases. The third myth in custody cases is that my child is going to be able to choose which parent they want to live with. Okay, I understand that in some states, courts want to hear what an older child has to think. But I get this question all the time. Oh, my 9-year-old really is upset that dad's divorcing mom and he wants to live with me. Can he choose? And the answer is it depends. For the most part, I know and courts know that if kids were to be able to choose their lives, they would eat Fruit Loops all day, play video games, and never go to school. So we don't, in custody cases, let the children completely decide which parent they're going to live with, because we know that children might choose someone they feel sorry for. They might choose someone who has less rules, who's not going to follow up on their homework, or who's going to let them stay awake till 1 a.m. every night. And so because courts know this, the courts are going to take into consideration what a child thinks, but they're not going to let a child choose. And you shouldn't either. To put that much pressure on the children in a case to choose between a mom and a dad who they love so much and have depended on for their entire life is just too much pressure. It's important to know what your child thinks if they feel strongly and to be an advocate for them, but it's one factor in the middle of many factors that are considered by a court. I hope breaking down these myths have helped you, and so next time you'll be more prepared when you get this question.